What if you could send a single message back in time? One text to fix your biggest regret. But what if the one thing you did to stop it from happening was the very thing that caused it in the first place?
So, can you really outsmart destiny? That's the big question we're tackling. We're going to dive into a wild thought experiment, one that's actually grounded in some pretty mind-bending theoretical physics, to see if it's even possible to fight a future that seems to be already written.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Every one of these stories about changing the past, it always starts with a single moment, doesn't it? A simple, regrettable accident that you wish you could just undo.
So picture this. You're watching your friend walk down the street, and then, bam, it happens. The most classic, almost comical tragedy you can imagine. A banana peel, a slip, and a disastrous fall. And that moment just burns itself into your brain, right? You keep replaying it thinking, man, if only I could have just warned him.
But here's the thing. In our thought experiment, maybe you can do something about it. So how do you fight back against a moment that's already happened? Well, you'd need a weapon against fate itself. And that weapon is a message from tomorrow.
Now, what's the tech we're using to pull this off? It's something called a tachyon. You can't just go out and buy one of these, okay? It's a purely hypothetical particle, something physicists dream up to explore the absolute limits of reality. And its entire purpose, its one and only job, is to travel faster than light.
So here's the crazy logic behind how this works. According to physics, as you get closer and closer to the speed of light, time slows down for you. If you could somehow hit light speed, time would just stop. But here's the kicker. If you could punch right through that barrier and go faster than light, the equations say time would actually start running backward. And that right there is our ticket to the past.
All right, so we've got our method, we have our mission, prevent the fall. Sounds simple enough, right? But this is where the paradox really starts to tighten its grip, leading us right back to that inevitable fall.
Using your little tachyon device, you type out a simple message, a text, and you beam it back in time, just moments before the accident. A quick, clear warning. And believe it or not, it works. In the past, your friend feels his pocket buzz. He pulls out his phone, a little confused, and looks down to read this strange, urgent text that just appeared out of nowhere.
And because he's looking down at his phone, at your warning, he isn't looking where he's going. He doesn't see the banana peel on the ground. He slips, he falls. Your attempt to save him became the very cause of the accident. It's a perfect, unbreakable loop. It's almost as if the universe itself just course-corrected your interference.
So, was this just a fluke? A tragic cosmic coincidence? Well, this thought experiment suggests otherwise. It seems to point to a much bigger, unbreakable pattern.
You know, this idea has been around forever in fiction for a good reason. Just take H.G. Wells' classic, The Time Machine. The main character is haunted by the death of his love, so he builds a time machine to save her. He goes back and tries everything. He gets her to take a different path, a different carriage, but no matter what tiny detail he changes, she always dies. The outcome, the big event, never changes. It's like it's a fixed point in time that just can't be moved.
So, what does this all tell us? Well, it points to this profound and, frankly, pretty unsettling idea about the very structure of time, this concept of the great events of time.
And this right here is the heart of the paradox. It seems like the timeline doesn't really care about the small stuff. It prioritizes the big major events, making them fixed points. So sure, you can alter the minor details, the path your friend took, the exact words of your text, but you can't change the major outcome. You changed why he was distracted, but you couldn't prevent the distraction itself that led to the fall. It's like you're free to choose the path, but not the destination. And that raises a huge question about how much control we really have.
So all this leaves us with one last, really haunting question. If the major events of our lives are already written in stone, then what exactly is free will? Is it just our freedom to choose the specific winding path we take to arrive at an unchangeable, pre-written destiny? It's a lot to think about.